Did you notice the word apostle in the first sentence of the reading that you just heard? It is the only time it is used in this gospel. Jesus' disciples are here referred to as apostles. And even though the words are often interchangeably used, they are different. And the distinction between the two is an important one. Whereas a disciple is a follower or student of a teacher or leader or philosopher, an apostle is one sent on a mission, as being sent to preach the gospel, as one being sent as an authorized representative. And this nuance can be clearly seen in the reading for today. The apostles have returned after being sent out 2 by 2 to preach the gospel. And here they are excited to report to Jesus their words and deeds and what they have done. And they must have been very, very successful, because we are told that people are following them and wouldn't even let them alone. Jesus sees what is happening, and he invites them to a deserted place. Always a signal of something important that's going to happen. Whenever we hear deserted place in the scriptures or high mountains, something is going on. And he invites them to come and to rest. And this is not the only time that the word rest or the concept of resting is used in the scriptures. There are many, many examples of this. In one of the most famous Psalms, the 23rd, we hear, "In verdant pastures he gives me repose. He gives me rest." In Matthew, we hear, "Come to me, all you who are labor and burdened, and I will give you rest." And then there's the most famous one of them all. God rested on the seventh day. We know today the importance of rest and relaxation, because if we don't get enough rest, it adversely affects us in many, many different ways. Physically, it can lower our immune system so we are more susceptible to disease. Emotionally, when we aren't rested, we can actually get cranky at times. And we know that psychologically we need rest to recharge ourselves. And even though we know the importance of rest in our society, in American society, we are number one in the industrialized world when it comes to the number of hours that we work. In a recent Gallup poll, the overall average number of hours worked by American workers in 1 week was 47. But if you drill a little deeper into that statistic, 50% of salaried workers work greater than 50 hours per week. And 25% of those salaried workers reported working greater than 60 hours per week. If you're a business owner or in business for yourself, I would be willing to bet that the number is a lot higher than that. And if you're a mom, the number is astronomical. It's 24/7. The Gallup poll also showed that stress is the number one cause of non-infectious disease. So all work and no play make Jack a dull boy and a sick one. We need rest. So here we have today the apostles very excited to tell Jesus what they have done, about what they have done everywhere, what work they have accomplished. And we are also apostles by definition. We have been commissioned as such by virtue of our baptisms. We have been sent to spread the word, the good news, and spread it by word and deed. This is our vocation. This is our vocation. And like the apostles we heard of today, we will one day report to Jesus what we have done. Now, I don't believe that Jesus is going to be standing there with some sort of a ledger recording numerical data. I really don't. Rather, I think he's going to ask each and every one of us a question. And that question is, how much did you love? How much did you love? How well did you take to heart the two great commandments? To love God and to love each other. Well, when we go about living or trying to live these two great commandments and his explicit commandment to go, baptize, and to spread the gospel, we too, just like the apostles, are going to need physical rest. And when he invited them to rest, I believe it was more than just, come on guys, let's go and rest. I believe it was for spiritual rest also. We need our spiritual batteries recharged every now and then. And there are different ways for each one of us to get this spiritual rest that we need. This rest, relaxation, this recharging of our batteries. One way is what we are doing right now. We gather together with our fellow apostles and listen to the stories. And we are fed at the altar. And we are rejuvenated for the week to come. Certainly, daily prayer is another form of rest and relaxation. And we all pray in different ways. Another is to just spend some quiet downtime in God's presence, not saying a word. We can do this in our own homes, in the Adoration Chapel, or at magnificent monasteries and cathedrals. Just to spend some time with God by merely being with God. This spiritual rest is every bit as important as physical rest. And maybe it's even more important. As busy as we all are, even in the summertime when it's supposed to be a time of rest, we must make it a priority in our lives to rest spiritually and to listen to Jesus and to go to a deserted place with him and to rest. St. Augustine put it best for us, perhaps, in his Confessions written many, many years ago. And here I'm paraphrasing it. And he said this about us and for us. Our heart is restless until it rests in you.